Eddie, where's my snacks, man? I demanded snacks.
Oh, do you wanna?
Did you hear, man? You got to give me the M&Ms without the yellow ones in there. Did you hear about that?
What? You're making all these references. I don't understand.
Listen. You gotta get in with pop culture. Okay, M&Ms. Okay, wait. Artists with M&Ms removed from bowl.
Artists?
Okay, listen. Okay. Do you know Van Halen? Van Halen.
The singer?
Yeah, the singer. Okay, so in all of his contracts, Van Halen specifically said that a bowl of M&Ms should be provided in his green room, and there should be no brown M&Ms in there. Now, what a pretentious douche. Why would he ask for no brown M&Ms? Is he allergic? No. In fact, the story is that he made sure that every concert venue read the contract line by line and made sure to catch that specific line so that they can remove the brown M&Ms, and that way they know a venue has prepared well for their concert. If they found brown M&Ms in their bowl in their green room, they would stop immediately and ask for a step-by-step check of the entire venue. Absolutely
Wow.
no. Okay, and I quote, munchies, underlined, bullet point, potato chip with assorted dip. Next line, nuts. Next line, pretzels. Next line, M&Ms. Bracket, warning, absolutely no brown ones. Eddie, you got to get in on these references, man. Here, I'll link you an article on Snopes.com. Snopes.com is definitely the premier...
the premier Forbes magazine for this type of stuff?
No, just the premier resource. It's basically as good as Wikipedia. This is the Neighbors IRL podcast, a weekly challenge podcast hosted by Eddie Sang and me, Daryl Lee. This week's challenge, exercise. Okay, Eddie. I see in your bathroom that you have a bowl with shaving cream and shaving lather.
Okay.
What's happening here?
Okay.
Eddie. Have
Okay.
you become? Is this?
Are we doing this?
Back to the
All right,
1970s?
all right.
Back to the future?
Okay. So what Daryl's describing is that I have a shave brush, a lathering brush rather, and literally a bowl of shaving soap that I must barbarically scrub every time I want to shave. So this is twofold, okay? First, it makes me shave less. And second, when I shave, it just feels a lot better. So the first one is I have to pick and choose when I shave, so I don't waste too much time, and also I don't have anyone to impress, so that's all right. And the second one is it just feels great.
All right, Eddie, let me ask you a question here. If you were to not shave for a week, how many millimeters of hair would there be on your face? Now, if you were to not shave for a month, how many extra millimeters of hair would there be on your face?
So I can't answer the second question because the second question involves Sylvia breaking up with me because if I don't shave for a month, it's over. We have a contract. It's complicated. But the first one, so we see each other every weekend, so it ends up being about 1 centimeter, I would say.
You know, if you're enjoying it and you think it's worth your money, then I hope you're having a good time, man.
Well, I think it's all right, but the first time I ever used the straight razor, okay, it's not a straight razor, it's called a safety razor.
Safety blade.
Yes.
Safety razor or safety blade?
And then so you have to use flat razors that you buy from the store. Dude, they're crazy sharp. It basically just cuts through all your pimples and the bleeding just doesn't stop for a while. So
It sounds like it's not the appropriate shaving tool for you.
And then I got used to it, and then that stopped.
Follow up. So, Eddie, did you try Overcast in the last week?
Yes, I did. Okay, so I downloaded all the episodes of Do by Friday and Hello Internet on Overcast.
Wait, did you do this manually or did you have like the rule set up for each of your feeds?
I think you can just auto download all of them as a setting,
Okay.
which I did. Okay,
So give a review out of 10. What do you think?
it's a 7. I give it a 7. If you're an Apple user, I give it a 7. I don't know how it would be if you're an Android user, but I don't take advantage of all these features as for myself because I only listen to podcasts on my phone, whereas other people would want podcasts synced on their phone, their tablets, their Macs, their PCs, and so they would have different. They would need a more powerful tool that would sync all across as they switch devices. But for me, I don't take advantage of those features. I don't think Smart Speed is a. I like my shit 1x. That's it. And so Apple Podcast, it's fine for me. It's okay. It's fine. I like the icon. It's prettier. It's purple. Overcast, it's a 7. It's okay.
What would you rate the native Apple Podcast app?
I would also rate it a 7. They're equal, so that's why I don't need to switch.
So for someone who only listens to 4 feeds and really only listens to 2 out of those 4 feeds and just listens to the same episodes over and over and over and over and over again, you can recommend equally Overcast and the native Apple app.
Yeah, okay. But that's because I'm a weird nutcase that literally just lives in the past, so...
It's okay, man. I believe in you. But for the rest of everyone who listens to the podcast normally, would highly recommend Overcast for Apple. And unfortunately, Marco doesn't make Overcast for the Android because he's not a big Android believer. He thinks Apple, everything's the best. But I do use Beyond Pod for Android, and I can recommend, like, 8 out of 10 would recommend.
Wait, you don't use Overcast for Android?
There's no Overcast for Android.
Oh.
I know. I really wish there was, but it's okay. Not everyone can live the luxurious Apple life.
I thought you were hyping it up for me because you used Overcast.
Nope. I just know it's good.
Okay. Okay, so Daryl, man. So I heard Neighbors was taken.
On the website?
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll figure out the hosting and stuff.
Okay, wait, but what if we change your name?
I don't think...
What if we change your name to, I have a very good session. It's called
Oh
Neighbors_IRL. What do you think?
I mean, like if you remove the underscore and explained what IRL is, maybe. Let me check the...
IRL, man. In real life. It's classy. It's internet savvy.
It shows us
modern.
Millennials these days. Millennials.
Don't you subscribe to Me IRL? Me
No.
_IRL, which is the true IRL.
Okay, neighbors... What about just neighbors IRL, no underscore? I'm down with that. It's available! Rejoice!
Yay.
It's a living beverage.
We did
Submit!
it! We did it!
We only have to add 3 more letters to our podcasting hour. Fantastic.
Alright. Done.
I like
Alright.
it. This was a great idea, Eddie. This
Okay,
was
thank you.
fantastic.
Is it only because it worked?
Fantastic. Yes, only because it worked. Speaking of great ideas, what is this sacrilege of food containers
Okay, that's
I see here?
Alright. This is serious, okay?
I'm ready.
Ready?
I'm
Okay,
listening.
I'm ready. So, in the past 1 to 2 weeks, it just seems that whenever I order food, it just comes in the worst package that it could possibly come in. Period. So imagine this, okay?
What kind of foods do you usually order?
Alright. We'll get to it, okay? Imagine you're lining up for fries, okay? It's a long wait, it's an alright wait. So what type of typical container would you think this package would come in? Maybe a cardboard box with maybe a little sleeve, to absorb all the fats. And these are freshly made fries, okay? So what ends up happening is the person puts it in a styrofoam container and ends up melting the styrofoam into your fries. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just awful. Secondly, if you order egg waffles, it comes in a brown paper bag. And when you order fresh egg waffles, they're nice and they're fluffy, they're crispy. And the only thing that this brown paper bag does, it just makes them soggy and awful. I don't understand how these things happen. People.
Here, let me explain it to you in 1 word. Or 2 words, actually. Saving money. Confirmed. Explained. Next question.
Okay.
Where's Bigfoot? I don't know. What's the Illuminati? It's a pyramid on top of your dollar bills if you live in the States. Eddie, if you were a business and you had to sell 500 units of food every day, and your choice is between a 10-cent container and a 20-cent container, you can save 10 cents times 500, $50. That's enough to buy one of your food items.
Yeah, unless all your customers die from styrofoam melt poisoning.
Nah, they'll be fine.
How much cancer is good? Just a little bit of cancer or a lot of cancer?
I think for the millennials, they'll solve cancer by the time we get old. I hope. That's my goal.
Okay.
But I haven't really ran into this problem before because I usually don't eat out. So this is a very you problem, it seems.
I just don't want styrofoam in my food, Daryl.
Well, don't they usually line it with wax paper or something?
You'd think that would happen, but so okay. I told the guy, I was like, hey, the fries are melting right through the styrofoam, like there's holes in it, and he just looks at me. He empties the fries into another box, another styrofoam box.
Sounds like it's solved to me. I don't know what you're complaining about.
It's just double the styrofoam.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, basically, those were just my two. That was just my major first world problem with that.
First world problem of the week?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of first world, check out the YouTube link highlighted there. You know MKBHD, right?
Yeah.
Our favorite tech reviewer.
Okay.
Do you know a Casey Neistat, a YouTuber?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What do you think of his work? Do you follow him on YouTube?
I don't. I only well, the first time I watched him, he was really compelling and he was really charismatic. But all the titles of his blogs or vlogs were really clickbaity, and I just didn't feel like I wasn't compelled.
All right, Eddie.
But I like his work. I've seen like some of his blogs where
what is the number one website you see linked onto Facebook?
Man, if I went to Facebook, I'd tell you, but it's probably
Well,
BuzzFeed.
it's BuzzFeed. And what type of titles do they use? How on a scale of 1 to clickbait? How clickbaity are they?
I think they're 11 on the clickbait scale.
Well, the thing is, everyone is now trying to compete for your attention online, and the more clickbait, the better. If anything, I think respected creators like Casey Neistat and MKBHD, uses some of the clickbaits here and there, but they use less clickbait than they could fully whore out to or prostitute them out to. What's the better word for it?
Sell out?
Sell out. They use less clickbait than a 100% complete sell. And if there is clickbait, but the quality of the video is still good, I don't mind it as much. It is when it is clickbait and the quality is crap. Like, the only good thing about the entire article or piece of work is the clickbait title. That's when I have a problem with it. But I'm fine with clickbait here and there as long as you don't overdo it and you actually have good content. So either way, watch the video I linked you there, and
Okay.
We will discuss it
Okay.
in a second. Fantastic podcast material. Jazz break here. So Eddie, what do you think of the video?
I thought it was very interesting. I'm a sucker for. Okay, maybe I'm not. I love.
So Eddie, I knew you would love this video. I didn't know if you watched it yet, but I knew this video was pretty much made for people like you.
Okay.
Describe the video for everyone.
Okay. Well. Okay. The video is called Casey Neistat Studio Tour. It's on
Nailed it.
MKBDHD YouTube channel. So check it out. So it basically tours around Casey Neistat's studio office, and the layout of this man's studio is not. I wouldn't say it's not traditional, in the sense that his philosophy of organization is just a lot. It's a lot.
It's chaotic.
It is chaotic, but everything is open in a sense where you could see all the wiring, all the organization, everything is labeled. And for me, I'm a sucker for this type of organization. So I like to be organized, but this type of organization takes it to the next level. Even though I don't practice what I preach in terms of my organization, it seems that Casey Neistat in his hectic office where everything is labeled, all the cables are, nailed to the wall, and you can track every single cable to see, exactly where they go and what to do. And he has big sections for all the stuff in his life. And he has a lot of things. He doesn't have just a few things. I was just really impressed. I would say when I first watched this video, I was just so taken back by, you could actually do these things. Like, that was an actual way of doing things in terms of organizing your studio, your workspace, your house, a room.
Are you more of a minimalist person, or are you more of a chaotic organizer? Well, let me just look around your room right now.
My room is very disorganized. But, I don't know, it's a struggle. Half part of me wants to do this, minimalistic thing where you just have as few things as possible. But also part of me just wants to, have
all the things?
The chaos style where, I just want to nail things to the wall and just pin everything and label everything and just have a very industrial looking space. But I think that sort of look is harder to pull off. Like, if you do it, you have to do it for everything, right? It's sort of minimalistic as well. If you throw out one thing, you might as well just throw out everything.
Well, you can have one room in your future house be minimalistic, and maybe your garage in the more chaotic, industrial looking organization system.
Yeah, well, also the chaos system, you kind of need to. Well, it's a lot of pinning things and a lot of putting things on the walls and around you, and having a lot of area and furniture. The side of your shelf could be used as something. That sort of type of organization, I think you'd have to have a lot of I don't know if it's the right word, but handiness, a lot of vision to see. This is exactly where I want it, and I know exactly what I need to do to get it there. Like, whether it's tacks, putting on a nail to a board, or hooking things up, the right lights that you want.
It doesn't look like he planned his entire studio and then carried it out methodically and 100% to the plan. It kind of just looks like a evolving product, and he just keeps changing things as it goes along and changes things as it becomes practical.
Yeah, but also he's not just saying I'm just gonna put a camera right here on the floor, and I'm gonna put this pillow on the floor right beside it, and I'll know exactly where it is the whole time. No, he's in my opinion, what happened was he started with sections that were built for specific purposes, and then he just built around it and filling up all the nooks and crannies and stuff. So I think it's sort of this is a workspace that is for a specific thing, and this is a storage shelf that I'll put for another specific thing, and then all the accessories, I'll just put them all around it, because that makes complete sense. And all the cabling, I'll just put on the wall all around it, because that also makes sense. So it just seems like, in my opinion, that's how I would go with it. A very vision and accessory sort of orientation of style. So in the end, I still think it's pretty important to at least designate a space hey, this is going to be my bedroom area, and this is going to be my workspace. And, because of my workspace, maybe I collect rocks or whatever, and I'll have a rock shelf.
What are you trying to say about people with rock collections, bud?
You know what's wrong with having a rock collection, Terrell?
You
know what's wrong?
What is it?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong. People like what they like.
Fantastic. People like what they like. What do you... Is this the only Casey Neistat video you've seen, or have you seen some of his work before?
I've seen a few of his vlogs.
What are your overall impressions of it?
Casey Neistat.
Specifically with regards to his production value. I know you are a very gearhead, and you have expensive microphones and expensive cameras and such.
Oh yeah, complete gearhead. I think as clickbaity as all his stuff are, I think he works incredibly hard to get some of the footage that he wants to capture on, and I think that's what compels people. But also at the same time, he really thinks a lot about what things are and what ideals are, and he wears those things on his sleeve. For example, there was one time where I was just watching one of his vlogs, and he was just on the street, and then some motorcycle just jumps out on the sidewalk. Well, whether or not that motorcycle was legally allowed to be there, Casey Neistat thought to like he obviously had a very rigid and firm. Rigid might not be the word, but a very firm stance that hey, like this guy should not be here, and then just straight starts chasing the guy, like right there on the spot. Like so, I think that's what makes
Yeah, his
people attracted to him.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
his lifestyle and his vlogs are very interesting. One thing that did jump out with me, and there's this analysis of Casey Neistat vlog that I've put in the show notes, is that he somehow maintains a very casual style of vlogging, yet has a really high production value. Like every one of his vlogs will start off with a perfect time lapse from 3 different angles of the city, either in the sunrise with some drone footage and some like panning shots with the drone. It's not like those shots are easily captured at all. And then he'll just be holding his vlogging camera and then jump into a frame. But then in order to jump into the frame like that, he'd have to set up the camera, walk away, come back into the frame as if he did it casually, and then shoot the shot. And then runs away out of the shot, comes back and get the camera and goes on with his day. He works very hard and makes it look very good, but he does it in such a casual way. And I think that's what's very attractive about his vlog, is that it does the whole YouTuber vlogging experience, but it's not necessarily done on a iPhone 5C.
Have you ever watched the original episodes of Survivor Man? Sorry, have you ever watched the original episodes of Survivor Man? Where
I don't know what Survivor Man is.
so it's basically well, do you know Bear Grylls?
Oh yes.
Okay, so just imagine Bear Grylls except without a camera crew.
Okay.
So basically, what you're explaining right now, except for survival, where he'll put the camera and he'll set it up all these places, and he'll just.
I'm watching a quick clip on YouTube right now, but he's doing it like on a VHS camera and just.
Oh yeah, for sure, and he has like
potato quality.
2 tripod. He carries like 2 tripods and like 3 cameras with him, and he tries to like survive nights and days in the wilderness, and probably drinks his own piss. But it's
I don't think he's Bear Grylls. Yeah, it's really interesting.
So
imagine it's weird. Imagine if Survivor Man, instead of starting in the 1990s, just started in 2005 or 2010 when YouTube was starting to pick up. Do you think he'd be ever more popular? I mean, right now I see one of his videos have 10,000 views, but imagine if he had a bit higher quality production value and wasn't shot on a VHS tape.
Well, Survivor Man, yeah, it's an old show.
Yeah, like have you seen the what is it called? Rudimentary technology or whatever?
What?
Primitive technology. Primitive technology.
What?
It's just a YouTube channel called Primitive Technology. Basically, this guy here, I'll read his about. He makes primitive huts and tools from scratch, starting only nature materials in the wild.
Yes.
So his video formats are just him making primitive tools. Like, for example, I see a spear thrower here, woven bark fiber, a sling, a basket. He has a video on fire sticks and stone axes, and he just makes all these videos of him creating these technologies, very primitive technologies. But he doesn't explain any of it. He doesn't say any words during his video. He just goes through step by steps and explain it in the videography, basically. And it's a very interesting video. He has 4 million subscribers, and his videos seem to average about 5 to 10 million views each.
Okay, so I just took a look at it, and yeah, I did see the hut building one, and it was really interesting because even that project took, I think, a few weeks or days.
I'm sure all of the projects he does
weekends
take forever.
Yeah,
but
to actually
is what Survivor Man is the work that Survivor Man did really that different than this primitive technology guy? Well, they kind of have a different approach to the same thing. So one does primitive technology and one does Survivor videos, but they kind of have the same essence of their videos. I think they'd appeal to the same kind of more nature-going Survivor type person.
Well, okay, that depends really. Because no, because Survivor Man, it's sort of like a vlogging style as well, where the camera's
I've
at
never
him.
watched it, but yeah.
So just think about Bear Grylls, where like he has to explain all these decisions that he's trying to make on the go, and doing multiple takes and whatever. But it's different. It's completely different. I think it'd be completely different
Well,
in terms of it would target the same genre but in a different style.
but isn't it interesting how one is vastly more popular than the other?
Yeah, I guess you're right. People, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting, actually. I'd have to think a little bit more about that, but yeah.
It's literally a lot of luck depends on what time you start working on a project. Imagine if Casey Neistat started doing the vlog and everything, but he started 5 years later than he did.
Oh, maybe he probably might not have been as popular.
Or,
but then he did.
Or MKBHD, instead of starting tech reviews when he was 7 or 8, he started them when he was 16.
Whoa.
Yeah, his first videos, he uploaded a couple of his first videos on YouTube, and he's like this little kid explaining why his MP3 player or his CD player is good or not.
Wow.
And he's doing pretty much the same format as he does now, but given a critical eye to tech. But he was a wee little kid.
Okay, we can talk about two things: evergreen videos, which are things that will always be relevant and popular.
Is this a technical
no matter
term?
what.
Evergreen videos?
Well, it's like evergreen trees, man. Come on, keep up. And then the second one is viral videos. So in terms of Survivor Man, those are, I think, evergreen videos, but they weren't viral videos. They were just old TV shows. So anyone would even look for them.
Is the quality of primitive technology that much greater than Survivor Man?
Okay,
not the quality of production, the quality of the content. Or is Casey Neistat's vlog that much more interesting than the Nerd Writer or the Vlog Brothers? Or is MKBHD that much better than your average dude for tech reviews?
I think you're comparing apples to oranges.
Is Vsauce that much better than CGP Grey?
I think you're comparing apples to oranges.
Is Do by Friday that much of a better podcast than Cortex?
Is Do by Friday a better podcast than Neighbors? I don't know.
I think we have the superior podcast here, but I don't know. I think it's interesting how a lot of your success in life, or any content or products or artwork's success in life, really comes down to what time it was born. It may be a bad analogy, but if someone painted the Mona Lisa tomorrow, I don't think anyone would really care.
Okay, yes, but at the same time, you're not taking the same vehicles. I'm gonna use that word. You're not delivering with the same vehicles. So, just roughly looking, this guy's content ranges from 4 minutes to about 12 minutes. If you're watching a whole Survivor show, what are you watching? You're watching 24 to 30 minutes. That's long form content. 40 minutes to 11 minutes is short form content.
Okay, you're right.
You're talking about MKBDHD.
You're right.
4 to 10 minutes.
Listen.
Yeah, I think there might be a formula, but there's also an audience for long form
theme.
For long format shows, long format podcasts. There's short story podcasts with one person. Certainly, there's clickbait 10-second videos.
Let me give you the most comparable comparison in the world. Survivor Man, season 1, episode 1, 1 hour long video, 9,000 views on YouTube.
Okay.
Bear Grylls, Man vs. Wild, season 5, episode 1, 800,000 views.
Yeah, because the man drinks his own piss for a living. What do you expect? I'd watch that shit.
challenge. Eddie, your challenge. It was fantastic.
Oh my gosh. This challenge is okay. Daryl,
So,
how'd you do?
Let me tell you about my results.
All right.
You know, I had a plan. You said, work out 30 minutes every day. I'd figure, you know what? Maybe it's time to get back into it. Maybe it's time to be like Ice One Cube and get some high intensity interval training back in my life.
Okay.
I don't have access to a gym right now. The judo season is in between semesters right now. So this challenge came at a pretty poor time. But I thought, some dumbbells, some interval training, I can get fit.
Okay.
So first day, I got too busy and just biked for 30 minutes back and forth to my friend's house because I needed to get there.
Okay.
So that was my first. Second day, though, I laid down the law. Forced myself at midnight to do 30 minutes of high-intensity interval training. So I just did... what is this called? Whatever that is.
Double raises.
Well, like with your legs. It's kind of like
kettlebell swings.
Yeah, kettlebell swings, push-ups, sit-ups, and rows. Oh, no, it wasn't sit-ups. It was front squats with a 30-pound dumbbell.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I did like intervals of that for 30 minutes. Very tiring.
Oh God, you
And
tried
then
really hard.
I was sore for the next 2 days, so I just started packing some clothes and my life, and I considered that exercise. It's pretty physically intensive packing. I'm gonna say that.
Okay.
And then the next day was packing and biking. And then the next day I had a wedding to go to, and then the next day is today, and I didn't do anything today. Or yesterday.
Well, okay. Well, I didn't do anything today either.
I actually just went to get bubble tea with you yesterday. Or, what was it called?
La Tierra.
La Tierra.
La Tierra era.
La Tierra era. It was pretty good. But I think I'm pretty lactose unfriendly. Or
So you
lactose
basically shit
sensitive.
the bed after.
It was, no, I just had an upset stomach.
Oh, even worse.
Even worse. How did you do on the challenge?
Okay. A big part of this for me was going to be energy management. So figuring out when I would have the energy and also post exercise when I would have that energy to, to accomplish what I need to do. So first day, I ended up waking 30 minutes earlier than I normally would to go on the bike machine. Obviously I snoozed and then I had 15 minutes. So I did that.
Wait, why didn't you just bike? Why did you have to be on a bike machine?
I was just too lazy to go outside, man. I have a bike machine.
Man, the weather must be so cold in Toronto right now.
Actually, I think last week it was pretty
Yeah.
cold. But anyways, so did the bike machine, and turns out the bike machine that we have at home is broken, and it's just set on hard mode. And also, it doesn't give any slack. So if you just it pedals at a very consistent. It doesn't get easier.
It doesn't get harder.
It doesn't get harder either. It stays the same.
So how much of a workout did you really get?
No, it was stuck on hard mode to begin with, so it was very hard. Like it was hard getting a pace going, and also if you bike in real life, you pedal hard and you carry yourself forward. Maybe you take a break while you're riding, but while you're on the seat, so you're still moving forward, right? So you always get this sense of progress for that, but on a bike machine, you get no progress. The weight is always the same, for some reason, which I think is inferior. You don't feel like you're making any progress. If you go harder, it doesn't matter, and if you go lighter, you feel like you're not getting workouts. So that was awful. So after the first 2 days, I switched of biking. I switched off, and I started doing circuit training. What was I doing? I was the first day was an all legs circuit training. Jump squats, mountain climbers, some other third exercise. And then
Good job. Good job.
and then after that, so that was painful. I'm just not as flexible as I used to be. It feels like
you got to work on that mobility, man. Mobility is super important, Eddie.
It feels like my soreness just doesn't go away as much. But also, I think I'm stiffer.
Have you tried? There's this miracle protein strain called glutamine. Have you tried taking glutamine supplements?
Ingesting glutamine to get yourself more flexible?
No, to increase your recovery on the next day. You got to take the pills, Eddie.
Gotta take the powders?
Yeah, well, I have glutamine in a pill form, but you can also take glutamine in a powder form. Wait, do you get that reference, by the way? Do you know where that's from?
No, your references are lost on me.
Keep going.
Okay, anyways, so after that, I was like, maybe I shouldn't work out all my legs because that hurts a lot. So then I switched off that to squats, push-ups, and leg raises for abs, and that hurt a lot. It I don't know, for some reason my recovery time went from like 1 to 2 days to 5 days because I'm still in pain. So I don't know what happened there.
So turns out we're just both incredibly unfit.
Yes.
I think is what we learned this week.
Agreed. Thursday I switched off to cardio based sets. Cardio based interval training sets. So jogging, leg raises, and heel kicks in some order. In an interval order because I was trying to recover from the day
interval
before.
training, man.
I was trying to recover from the day before. So that was pretty hard as well. And my calves were really stiff on Friday. So I said, nah, not today. And then Saturday,
Why do you have to do this, man? Why do you have to embarrass everybody?
I did something on Saturday and then that was it. No, I didn't do anything on Saturday.
I don't. Yeah, it's okay. Okay. All I learned for this challenge is that I can't force myself to exercise. If I'm going to exercise, it's going to be an activity I enjoy, like judo or skiing or hiking. But forcing myself to exercise seems like the most painful thing in the world. I don't mind weightlifting. I guess if there was a free access to a gym I had, I would go. But I don't think it's as forcing yourself to train isn't as enjoyable and isn't something that's easy to stick to. Whereas if you have some fun while you're doing some exercises, it doesn't really feel that painful or like exercise at all.
In my experience, I think I wanted to exercise more, but because of time and energy management, I just never felt like I wanted to exercise, and I didn't want to have those repercussions every time. So, for example, the days where I would exercise in the morning, I felt really, really hungry by midday. And also,
but imagine all those opportunities where you think you wouldn't really want to exercise, but you were instantly transported to the rock climbing gym and you're warmed up and you're ready to go. You look at that wall and you say, I think I'm going to climb this wall.
Oh, rock climbing is different though because it's actually the most fun sport in the world. So.
That's what I mean. It's so much easier to physically assert yourself if you're having fun. And people who enjoy mainstream sports like basketball and soccer and volleyball or whatever and can just do a pickup game whenever they want, I am very jealous of you. You can't just do a pickup game for judo. I don't think people would like it if I show up to a park with someone and just threw them randomly. I'm very jealous of people who are into physical activities that are more popular in our society today and can easily be done. Whereas, if I were to grapple someone in a parking lot, I think the cops would be called. So
no, okay, here's the solution.
Or like, I can't ski in Markham. I can't ski down the road.
you could ski down some hills, but you wouldn't make it out with all four limbs. I would
be skiing for the rest of my life.
Well, okay, here's the solution, right? So what you need to do is you need to get good enough at judo that you could detect other judo masters just by their auras, and then you could just throw them, and they would notice that you're a judo master too, and then they would counter you.
It sounds like a terrible idea. Wait, so what exercises do you enjoy generally, other than rock climbing? Good answer. I guess you don't enjoy anything in life.
That's a good question.
Good question.
I enjoy cycling. I enjoy biking places.
You should try trail biking someday. I'm pretty sure there's some trail biking near Toronto. I'm
trying to find some cycling trails so that I can buy a bike off your dad and go.
Yeah, go do that. Okay, this week's challenge. So, last night,
all right,
I couldn't sleep till 7 a.m.
Jesus.
My life was terrible.
Oh my God.
Even with the redshift filter on my phone and everything, I just fell asleep, had a weird dream, woke up, and then just couldn't go back to sleep. And I think I I don't know how much of a hippie it sounds, but I feel like staring at your phone screen right before you sleep is not the smartest thing. And I don't know how it affects the health. I've heard things here and there about the science of it, but I haven't done any thorough research. Either way, I want to try this challenge with you this week, Eddie. For the next week, you're not allowed to use any electronic device with a screen 30 minutes before you sleep.
Oh my god. Okay.
Listen. You can if you need to like play a podcast, you can play your podcast and then just put it down. But you don't want to you don't want to be Redditing before you sleep. You don't want to be YouTubing before you sleep. You don't want to be watching some shows on Netflix before you sleep.
Okay.
And your devices with screens cannot be within an arm's reach of you in your bed.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. I accept this challenge.
Well, you don't really have a choice.
I give my blessings.
I think it would be interesting. It's going to be logistically a bit difficult because my alarm is on my phone, but I think if I were to set up some sort of system, like maybe play my audiobooks from my tablet and just keep that closed and then keep my phone further away, like on the nightstand, and then push the nightstand to the other side of the room, should be fine. Should work out.
And I'd have to have an unsnoozable, really loud alarm.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know if you use like a sleep tracker application.
Oh no, I use my phone as an alarm as well. So
I actually have a physical alarm as well. Have you ever heard of a wake up light before?
Wake up light?
Wake up light. Here, let me link you the one I have. It's by Philips. It costs $152 on Amazon. I'll throw it in the show notes right now. So basically what this alarm clock is, it's like a light bulb that faces your face.
Okay.
And it gradually lights up brighter and brighter. You can set it 30, 20 minutes, 10 minutes before you wake up. And what it's supposed to do is simulate the sunrise and sunset or whatever. And it's supposed to, quote, colored sunrise simulation wakes you up naturally. Next bullet point. Dimming lights and sound gently sends you off to sleep. Developed by Philips experts in light for over 100 years, and the only wake-up light clinically proven to work. 92% of users agree that it's easier to get out of bed. I'm not gonna lie, it did make it easier to get out of bed. I do have sleeping problems here and there, but when I was doing the shift work, the sunrise would wake me up every morning for 4:10 a.m. ready to go to work.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad device. It's a wee bit expensive, but I did buy one off Kijiji for $60. Same model, so I think I got a pretty good deal there.
That's not bad. Not bad at all. So, okay, if you notice...
You can borrow mine for the week if you want to try it out.
You know what? I might take you up on the offer. If you would please turn to Exhibit A, my bedroom. You see, look on the very top. Wow, look, it's a light bulb socket.
And
I could put a Philips Hue light bulb there, and I could program it. Is it worth the investment? Do you think?
I was thinking of the whole Philips Hue and the smart home thing, but there's this thing called money, as we discussed earlier in the show. And as much as I want those 50-cent containers, man, I'm pretty happy with my 5-cent containers.
Yeah, but good thing he has 20/20 hindsight vision, and he understands the properties of clay in the future. Future.